Alright, today I'm going to make a video uh, that's going to be a little bit different in nature. Normally I make, these kind of fun gaming videos to help out friends or whatever, and that sort of thing, but this is going to be a little bit different. Today I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, where I think they're going, and basically why you should get into them, and what's going to happen with the future of them. And I'm also going to talk about security, because that's a huge issue with a lot of people, and uh, I see a lot of people that are going to get really hurt by this. So I'll start with Bitcoin. Now there's several cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin is kind of the main one, and I think it'll probably be somewhat of a standard in the future. Bitcoin hit $10,000 today, first time in history. And it keeps going up, so that's what you're going to see, is Bitcoin going up quite a bit, and there's a couple reasons for it. One, it's starting to be mainstream, but the other reason is the falling U.S. dollar and the falling U.S. dollar and the falling currencies of other nations, which are going to be messed with by their governments. What typically happens is the government will come into power and they'll be alright for a while, but then they'll start messing with the currencies. And I forget, in the United States we still seem to have things pretty good, but the Federal Reserve is just, or the Treasury, I'm not sure who actually prints the currency or whose job it is, but the printing presses are rolling day and night, and it's just getting crazy out there. Basically, if you've got $100 in the bank and say there's $300 in circulation, well, let's just say that they've went ahead and put another $1,000 into circulation. What's that going to do to the $100 you have in your bank? You can see where this is going. It's going to make it a lot less valuable. So it's kind of a backdoor taxation, effect on whatever you've got in the bank. And by the way, I think the money in the bank is kind of a terrible idea anyway, because you are going to lose money there due to inflation and that sort of thing. Ideally you want your money to either grow or at least not lose it. Now, I think the going rate of inflation is like 4% a year. It may be higher, but 3-4% per year, well over a 10-year period, that's 30-40%. So there's that's what putting money in the bank does for you. You lost 30-40%. So that's a real important thing to remember. Now, cryptocurrency can't really be manipulated by the government in that way. So what you've got is sort of a decentralized system. Now, I don't know that it won't be Uh, I don't know that it can't be manipulated or anything like that, but basically it's a lot better than Congress deciding to, you know, print out a few trillion more dollars for that sort of thing. So, you know, we're still in that place where cryptocurrency is a lot more secure in that aspect. Um, if you study other countries, what happened in Greece, I know a guy that was telling his mom to uh, get her money out of the bank and put it into Bitcoin or something because he could see what was happening, and she did, and you know, she avoided losing her money and that sort of thing. Now I guess Greece was taking money from bank accounts. You know, they were giving what they call a haircut. Well, a haircut off a bank account is where they come in and they skim, like, you know, just take 10% or whatever. You know, I can only imagine how angry those people were over there. But anyway, a bank account is not as safe as it seems. Now in Venezuela, you know, they've got to a point where, you know, they're having to, I guess, take cartloads of cash to to the store just to pay for groceries and that sort of thing. You have the same thing happen in Germany. You've actually had it happen in a lot of different countries, and you know, it's kind of all the same. You know, I mean, you see the same patterns. You know, they do the same thing, getting the same results. I guess one of the lessons we can learn from history is that people don't learn from history, and then they'll try the same thing over and over. But yeah, cryptocurrencies are headed up in price, and they're going to be a lot more widely used. We're still sitting in the time period where what you're looking at is you're looking at cryptocurrencies as something that will be taking over in the next 10 years or so. You're going to have a lot more of that, and I don't know how it's going to play out. You know, governments are going to want taxes off of it and everything else, as they always do. But you know, the next 10 years in the United States and other places are really going to be quite different. So, you know, this is just something to consider. I believe there's going to be two kinds of people, at least financially. People with Bitcoin and people without. And I think we got a pretty good idea that the people with cryptocurrencies are going to pretty much come out on top. So make what you will of it. Cryptocurrencies are here to stay, and there's going to be a lot of people making some good money off of it. So, now, the other thing I'd like to touch on is that just from what I've seen people do, most people have no idea about cybersecurity and how important it is and how far-reaching the whole hacking problem really is. Now, these days, what a hacker will do is he'll come in and he'll sniff out everything on the network. Now, in a lot of homes, you have refrigerators these days tied into the internet, and so what they'll do is the hacker will come in and sniff out devices, and I guess that, from what I understand, they can actually use, your refrigerator to basically spy on you. And there's all kinds of malware that can come in, and basically anytime you say you try to start a cryptocurrency wallet, well, if you've done it with that malware on there, they've already got your seed keys. Now, they don't always strike right away. What they like to do is, wait for the right time. Say you have enough cryptocurrency in your wallet for it to be worthwhile, that's when they strike. So this is all just something to keep in mind. I guess I'll outline a few steps that I would take personally. First off, starting out, you want to not use a phone at all. Period. Just don't do it. A phone is a device that is used to spy on you. Basically for pretty tame reasons, they just want to sell you something or whatever, but a phone can also be used for a hacker that wants to get in and for whatever reason they can use all the features that are on a phone to track you and whatever else it is you might be doing. So ideally, and phones are so easily infected, you really don't even want to go there. So I wouldn't, now one of the other things involved is there's a lot of sites out there that are bringing malware in. For example, porn sites. Porn sites are terrible for that stuff. Now I realize none of the people watching this video have any of that on their computer at all, ever. But, just in case you do, you might consider disqualifying using that computer for any sort of Bitcoin wallet transaction or whatever. There's a pretty good chance that it has a virus, or not a virus, it has malware that is set up so that when you do get into something interesting like a Bitcoin, it could give a tattletale back to its originator, and pretty soon they have your seed keys, and then they have your money. It's been happening quite a bit out there, and I don't think people realize just how far-reaching the whole hacking thing goes, but it's pretty intense. There's a lot of Russians over there in Russia that have nothing better to do all day long than to make up programs that get into your computer. Facebook is another huge problem. There's all this all these interesting articles, right, that you get on Facebook, and of course most of it isn't true at all or anything, and most of these things are designed to put forth advertising. They'll get something to inflame everyone and get them talking about it, right, comment, subscribe, all that, and basically, they're used to make money, but they're also used by Russian hackers, which some of these sites you don't even have to click on anything to get infected. You just go to the site and there you are, and you got something on your computer. Um, so this is just something to consider, and you'll want to watch that. Now, here's what I would do. Get a new laptop. Make sure it doesn't have anything with a keylogger on it, screen capture, anything like that. You don't want other browsers on it. Just maybe Internet Explorer or whatever, but you download something from Google or one of the others, which I have on my computer now, but I don't use this for any cryptocurrency or anything like that. Ideally, you don't want anything like that on the computer that you do business with. Now, the reason I say that is because all these things are monitored, and you just never know. So basically what you want to do is have a computer sitting somewhere that you use for business, and that's all you use it for is business. You don't have any Facebook, you don't have any Chrome. I dare say you don't even do your shopping on it. Just business, because these cryptocurrency wallets, while very secure, if the weak link in the chain is the fact that you're sitting there and you've got malware running in the background, telling somebody if you logged into a cryptocurrency wallet and you've got some seed keys, and you don't want that. So you want a real clean computer. The other thing you want is to not use one of the public email servers. Yahoo, Google, Hotmail, whatever. It doesn't matter. Ideally, what you want to do is have a private email server that is paid for. You'll want something that you have to pay for, and you'll want something secure. I've heard things about Hushmail as being a pretty good place, to keep things secure and that sort of thing. But ideally, you want that. A good, strong password. And I would say this, not a password with any sort of pattern that they could pick out. You don't want to go there. Just random numbers, letters, whatever, and that's your password. Phrases and that sort of thing you don't want. So basically, start out with a clean computer and a good secure email system, and I don't think you'll have too much trouble with anybody getting your seed keys on your wallets, and then you can trade Bitcoin or whatever. The other thing I wanted to touch on is if you do plan on storing your Bitcoin somewhere and not investing it or something like that for a while, you'll want a hardware wallet. Now, I've heard good things about Trezor wallets. I've heard good things about them. That might be a really good place to put it. Just having a hardware wallet, sitting there somewhere where, uh, you know, nobody can touch it online. I would feel very uncomfortable having $1 million in cryptocurrency or something like that in a online wallet. That's just me, but to me that's I'd really want a hardware wallet. So basically, I don't have a lot more to say on this. Just keep in mind that it's out there, and there's going to be a lot of people that are losing their crypto dollars. While the wallets are secure, the phones aren't, and infected computers aren't. So once they got your seed keys, they got your money. So you really want to be careful about that. I guess I could keep going, but that's basically it. As far as my personal future, I'm going to continue to invest in cryptocurrencies. There's a few good places you can put it. I'll leave you a link in where I think the best place to put something like that would be. But the point is the world is changing, and cryptocurrency is going to be a big part of it. Love it, hate it, or whatever. It's not going to be the same world 10 years from now, financially or otherwise. So this is just something to keep in mind. And I'll just put links in the description. John McAfee has done a really excellent job of outlining this stuff, and he explains it so much better than I could. So I'm going to put some links there, and places that you can learn something from those cryptocurrencies and that sort of thing. I'll share what I got with you guys, and I guess you can take it from there. But it's going to be an interesting road. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the future with it. So anyway, it's kind of late at night. I'm tired, and I kind of made a non-professional video. This is the only way I really have to capture videos on my computer at this current point. Is I'll run a game. This is Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm able to pick it up through the Windows 10 system, so I can record stuff and that sort of thing. So that's the reason for the game showing up. But anyway, I hope this helps you guys. You really need to educate yourself on the whole security thing, because if you don't, there's a good chance that your money can go away. There's things happening to other people right now that aren't reported, and if you do lose some cryptocurrency, chances are pretty good there's no recourse. So just keep this stuff in mind, and watch the videos. They're pretty informative, and I hope this helps you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.